Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Emerald City Sports the Podcast, episode 62. Your boys
Wow.
are almost done with finals, so we got a little bit of time here to talk some sports. And the good news is there's actually not that much to talk about here. So, we are in that dry spot during the year where not too many sports are happening, not much is going on, especially here in Seattle. But there is a team here that we got to talk about, and that is the Seattle Kraken. Let's talk about the Seattle Kraken first. Josh, they had a great winning streak going and point streak going on there. And then they started slowly sliding down a little bit. A loss to the Penguins, a loss to the Rangers, a loss to the Oilers, and a loss to the Maple Leafs. So, I mean, you're seeing a little bit of a downward trend, but they did bounce back with a 6-2 win against the Blackhawks. So, what are your thoughts on how the Kraken have been doing?
Yeah, since the last time we had this podcast, I was hoping they could at least pull off a win against this really tough stretch of teams, and not having Grubauer to back up Decor Grubauer just came off of IR last night. Um hasn't played since that injury, and Decor has played like I think like 14 out of the past 17 games. So he's tired, and we're playing and against really tough teams. Obviously, that's not going well. And just losing against the Oilers, divisional opponent, they are still on a 14 game winning streak as well. They're distancing out of the division and um putting us back down in a position where we'll have to fight for these wild card spots. Obviously, that big win against the Blackhawks really helped. Grubauer is finally back, so Decord can hopefully finally get a rest. But we are about halfway through the season. The Kraken, I would say, not in the best of places. 49 points off of 47 games. They are, I think, 4 points off the wild card, if I remember correctly. And trade deadline's coming up. Our defense hasn't been coercive together. Even during that Blackhawks game, sure it was a big win, but we kept on it was because of Decor that we actually could have lost that game. Having giving up just rushes of multiple players for the Blackhawks against the Kraken, and giving up just straight one-on-one um counterattacks by the Blackhawks. And if it wasn't for astounding glove saves, what every save was there in that game, we actually could have lost against the Blackhawks. I mean, the Blackhawks actually messed it up last night, literally putting the puck. Blackhawk player hit the puck against their own goalie's skate and into the net. They literally gave us a goal. That was an easy win. That's why we got this game. But there's not going to be any more favors the rest of the season. But though we do have an easy stretch, we play against the Blues. I mean, they're also in that wild card mix. Blue Jackets and the Sharks should be a easy win for the Kraken.
Well, the Blues, Blue Jackets, Sharks, you say it is an easy stretch, but we know the Kraken play where, just like most Seattle teams, it gets close in there. So, Josh, how do the Kraken defeat these three teams and get possibly a 3-win streak or 4-win streak?
Oh yeah, 4 win streak, and these are the last 3 games before we go into the All Star break, and also the trade deadline as well. So I think the key to this is Matty Beniers has been injured. Our offense isn't looking good. Um, we've suffered, I mean, a little bit of injuries, but people are coming back as well. So I think putting up the points and still generating this coerciveness within the defense that we somehow has been put together. I mean, probably because of the downfall and the loss of confidence at the start of the season, as well as injuries early on the season, caused that. But I think if we want to make ourselves right into the All Star break, will need to lock down defensively and not just rely on Decord to make the saves because at some point he's gonna be tired. We can't always rely on Decord and we can't use Decord for every single game because at some point he'll get tired or even injured. Yes, Chris Drieger is a really good goalie, but Decor just came out of nowhere. He hasn't had any other NHL first team experience, so we can't always rely on him for here and in the future because, as I said before, the trade deadline is coming up. People have been talking about trading Chris Drieger that's in Coachella Valley that has had NHL starting goalie experience. He could be the number one goalie for a ton of different teams across the league. Um, and he's gonna walk away next season for free. So people have been saying this is the chance to trade him away to get some value. Just the problem is that we've been having so many goalie injuries and Decord's gonna get tired that I don't think this is the move for now, and maybe just keep him to play in the minor leagues for a little bit longer. But other than that, we'll have a big break after that, and hopefully we can catch up.
So the Kraken are at 20 wins, 18 losses, 9 overtime losses, 49 points. They are just on the outside looking in for the wild card. And as we go into this All Star break and go out to the second half of the season, we'll see how they do shaping up and making another fight for the playoffs. All right, Josh, let's go over to the Seattle Seahawks here. Look, season's over. Pete Carroll's gone. The question now, just for this franchise, is what is John Schneider going to do at head coach? Who is going to be the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks? There were tons of candidates going in. You had Dan Quinn, Mike Vrabel, possibly Jim Harbaugh, Ben Johnson, Mike Kafka, all these bunch of coordinators from so many different teams and head coaches too. We did find out Jim Harbaugh is now going to um, the Chargers, and Raheem Morris, also another candidate who was defensive coordinator of the Rams, is going to be the head coach of Atlanta, which means now that's two coaches off the market for the Seahawks. There's still tons of candidates out there, though. So, Josh, who do you want to see?
Well, I mean, I kind of wanted to see Caleb DeBoer, but now he's at Alabama. Um, that was actually kind of shocking for
That
me
was.
as well. Yeah,
I don't
but
think we posted our podcast like a day before that happened.
we posted a podcast the day before
Yeah,
or we posted it on that day or whatever. We recorded it the night before, but yes, we didn't know about it when we
did
recorded
not see it
the
coming.
the last episode. Yeah, I did not see that coming. But yet, I don't think there's a lot of candidates in the mix, really. I mean, I think the Seahawks are just gonna pick. I think the favorite's Dan Quinn, obviously, former Seahawks coordinator. And then I guess Mike Vrabel's just the surprise choice. I mean, who else are they gonna pick? Um, Shane Waldron's gone. I mean, he joined the Bears. You,
We need a new
our
OC
defensive
too.
coordinator sucks. We can't. Yeah, we can't. We have a new. We need a new OC too. I don't think we can bring up any coordinators to become the head coach. I don't think any of our coordinators deserve to be the head
Yeah.
coach. Um, other than that, Who else could it be? Because I don't think. I mean, the Seahawks have been waiting so long and haven't made a didn't make a move for stretch coaches Harbaugh, Belichick, DeBoer, or whatever. So I think they're just gonna play the safe option because they've been taking all this time. Nothing's gonna change after the end of the season because if teams are gonna fire people, they already did that. If teams are gonna fire those big names that the Seahawks want, that's already gone, and teams have already taken it already. So I think who else?
I mean, yeah, they haven't really been making any moves. You've heard like a couple meetings here and there, but really no advancements into making a move for a true head coach. And like you said, with the coordinators that we could have come up to head coach, you saw what Pete Carroll did with them. He brought up his coordinators from his own team, and they all sucked. Let's be real here. Ken Norton sucked. Shane Waldron, okay. Clint Hurt sucked. Like these are not like the guys you have under offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. You should not be bringing those guys up. You got to go find a guy out there that has already established himself as a good offensive or defensive coordinator. Look, I mean, an offensive coach would be nice because you get a guy who can also call the plays. And while on the defensive side, I mean, we do need a lot of help on the defense, but that means you have to hire an offensive coordinator, and if the offensive coordinator is good, he might be gone the next year. So offensive coordinator might be the best. Offensive coach might be the best choice right now. And I could see if they're waiting, if it means they're waiting on Ben Johnson, who is the Lions' offensive coordinator. Look, what the Lions are doing with their offense is kind of something that I would not mind seeing in Seattle. I mean, you've got a good game manager. I don't want to say game manager because that sounds rude to Jared Goff because he is a good QB. But yeah, he is a good game managing QB, and he's got good weapons around him. He's got a strong group of running backs in Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery behind him, just like we could have K9 and Zach Charbonnet, and they utilize their best receiver, which happens to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Look out who we could utilize if we bring Ben Johnson in, DK Metcalf. So, I mean, I could see us trying to make a move after the Lions either get eliminated or lose a Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, if that's the reason they're waiting, understandable. If they're not looking at Ben Johnson, I'm not sure they even have a meeting with him yet, then I am not sure who we're going to get. I mean, I've been hearing, like, the Giants offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, which I think would not be a good decision at all because you've seen the Giants
No,
offense. They are horrendous. Why would you bring that guy in?
it's the Giants.
Yeah, it's the Giants. You do not need a guy like Mike Kafka. And then you have people like out of nowhere saying Bill Belichick, which is, I mean, that's like the same thing with Jim Harbaugh. Like the history was just not, it's just not it with Bill Belichick. Um, and then obviously you got your big names like Dan Quinn, Mike Vrabel. Vrabel would be nice, but I'm pretty sure he is a defensive, more minded coach. So I mean, I'd rather have an offensive guy. This is an offensive league now, honestly. But when you do think about it, I mean, actually, no. Never forget what I said. I was gonna say the coaches that are in championship weekend are all more defensive minded coaches, and then I realized Kyle Shanahan is an offensive mind. So forget what I said.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the coaching thing, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, cause like this is starting to get dragged out. Most of the other teams who were in need of head coaches have already found their guy. It's really just us right now. We got to get a guy before the draft, obviously. So just wait and see, I guess. In other Seahawks news, Devon Witherspoon is a finalist for AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is the award they give out at the NFL Honors. He is in there with Jalen Carter. Oh yeah, Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, Joey Porter, and Kobe Turner. I'm not sure how Joey Porter got in there, but Jalen Carter, understandable. Will Anderson,
Yeah.
understandable. Kobe Turner, sure. That's also understandable. I feel like in this set of finalists, Devin Witherspoon could win. But like you said before the show, Josh, um, yeah, the East Coast bias is going to probably kick in. It's probably going to go to Jalen or Will Anderson. Um, so we'll see. No other Seahawk in any other category. Um, who do you think might win MVP? Honestly, like I feel like it should be either CMC or Lamar, but
MVP.
yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna be whoever's gonna. It's just, if both teams, if I think it's just gonna be whoever advances. If 49ers make it to the Super Bowl, Ravens don't, CMC's gonna win. If Ravens make it to the Super Bowl but the 49ers don't, Lamar's gonna win. If both of them win, if both of them make it,
Lamar
I could see either. Yeah, I would say Lamar just because he's a
QB. Yeah.
QB. That
Well, if Lamar wins MVP, I'm gonna guess that CMC would win Offensive Player of the Year, which is just Offensive Player of the Year if you're not a quarterback award. Yeah. Also,
yeah.
Brock Purdy is an MVP candidate, by the way. That is quite interesting.
What?
I mean, I guess
Seriously? Are you-
understandable, but like everyone says, system QB and carried by his teammates. I mean, Trey Lance couldn't do it with that group of weapons, so you got to give Purdy some props. But I don't think MVP. MVP is not there yet.
Yeah, not MVP.
A Pro Bowl, understandable. MVP, let's wait a couple years. Let's see how he does if a couple guys leave. And that just goes right into our predictions for championship weekend. We are down to 4. Josh, AFC Championship
Yep.
first. Look, we already know it is the USA versus Kansas City right now. Nobody wants to see
Yep. Yes,
Kansas
it is.
City in the Super Bowl. Nobody wants to see Travis and Taylor go Troy and Gabriella on all of us. And for some reason, the mob that hated Lamar for being a running quarterback is now praying for him to defeat Thanos, aka Patrick Mahomes. Look, this is going to be a very, very entertaining game. Two powerhouses of teams clashing together. Who comes out on top? This might actually be the Super Bowl, honestly.
No. Well, the only reason it's gonna be the Super Bowl, it's because Taylor Swift is gonna be there. But that's it. They're gonna show they're gonna show Taylor Swift so much, and Jason Kelsey. I
Josh,
mean,
Josh,
that's
Josh, Josh, Josh. How
yeah.
about you move your chair left? I mean, to your right a little bit.
Wait, right? Oh, wait, this is my right.
Yeah, move your chair right a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, the poster's not there. Um,
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Josh is.
Yeah. You see that Taylor Swift poster? Yeah. You see it?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I'll go get. Yeah. Exactly. I'll go get it. I'll go get it.
All right, so while Josh gets his poster, yeah, Josh is one of those guys who do not like seeing Taylor Swift on their screen 50 times. And that's wow. Wow. Okay, Josh. That is not
Yeah. There it is.
wow.
There it is. Where is it?
Wow. Wow. That is a crazy
There it
thing to
is.
do. There could be some Swifties watching this. You might need to watch your back. They might be able to
Who?
they might be able to track you down. Some Swifties. You never know. Be
Thanks
careful.
for coming.
Be careful,
Thanks for
Josh.
coming.
Be careful out there. It is
Appreciate
it is a cruel world. Um,
It's a cruel and unusual
as
world
I
out
was
there.
saying, yeah, Josh is one of those guys who do not like seeing Taylor Swift on his screen like 50 times a game. Honestly, I don't really care at this point. The NFL knows what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose.
It's annoying.
It gets more
It's just annoying.
it gets more attention to them, even if it's bad attention. Even if it means 50,000 fans are gonna flood to their comments, it's 50,000 comments. That's the attention the NFL wants to get, and it's working. Even though it pisses a lot of fans off, those fans are still gonna watch it. So it's not like they're gonna just ignore it because Taylor Swift is on there. The NFL, they got some smart business people. Anyways, let's get back to the game. Who's gonna win, Josh? Chiefs or Ravens?
Who is going to win? Um. Yeah. At the end, obviously, it's in Baltimore. The Ravens are the number 1 seed. They're wearing purple. I hope they're wearing purple. Uh, because Lamar is going to do his thing for all of Baltimore.
And for all of
Give me the
America, for
Ravens.
that fact.
All of America. Everybody. This is for all of America. The rest of the entire world out there. For the world, for the universe. Go Ravens. 24-20.
I
I'm
like
not too
that.
confident about the score.
I agree with you. I think this is the Ravens' time. Look, there have been, playoff Ravens always choke. Playoff Ravens never show up. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're like the new Patriots. They're a dynasty. They're too good. Even though Patrick Mahomes has lost so many of his weapons, he's still showing up just like Tom Brady would. When you thought the bad man was dead, he still came back to life. And even though the Chiefs are going to put up a hard fight, come on, this is the Ravens show. This is the Lamar Jackson show, and they are going to prove it on Sunday, but they won't the Chiefs will not go down without a fight at all. It will be a close game, and it comes down to a Justin Tucker game-winning field goal. I got the Ravens winning 27-24. Most generic score in NFL history. Um Now we also got, of course, the NFC Championship game. Look, the Lions, the America's team, the Lions. No one thought they'd
Yep.
make it this far, and here they are, standing one win away from the Super Bowl, the game that has been the bane of their existence from the start, against the much also hated San Francisco 49ers. The team with basically all the Infinity Stones and just good at everything. And it looks like Josh is frozen. So I'm just going to keep yapping until he reconnects. Um, Look, my opinion personally, there's Josh. All right. Uh,
There we go.
as as I was saying, Detroit America's team, this game has been the bane of their existence for the entire franchise's history. And on the other side, you have the team America also hates in the San Francisco 49ers, who has basically all the Infinity Stones that they need, and also Brock Purdy. Look, just like the Ravens and Chiefs game, there is a clear team that America wants to win. But obviously, the villain of this game won't go down without a fight. So, Josh, who wins? Detroit or the Niners?
Yeah, we're in San Francisco. Home field is means a lot in the playoffs. Yes, the 49ers have MVP candidate Brock Purdy, um, and CMC. The Lions, though, you can't back down on the Lions. Yeah, somehow just making this weird miracle run to get there. But I have to admit it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this on this podcast. I'm going to pick the 49ers to win 21-20.
You know what, Josh? I agree with you. Yeah, look, it's been a crazy Cinderella run for Detroit. You got to give props to them. You got to give props to Dan Campbell. He is in the conversation for Coach of the Year. It's either him or D'Amico Ryans. One of those two will win, and as much as D'Amico Ryans deserves it, he deserves it just as much. Dan Campbell has led this team from the bottom to the top in like 2 years. It is insane. Last year, we saw them get eliminated from the playoffs because the Rams lost to us. But we knew that Detroit was going to be a threat this year. And boy, oh boy, did they show it. But unfortunately, man, the Niners are just too strong. There's just too many weapons for them to handle. And even though they go down fighting valiantly, the Niners are going to win. And the Super Bowl color theory is going to go down as the Niners. Wait, why did I say go down? The Super Bowl color theory is going to be proven again as the Niners will face the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I got the Niners winning this one. I will say actually in a more sloppy game. I say 20-14. Sloppy win,
Okay.
but they get it done. That's just yeah, we'll see. And I mean, with Detroit, Sam Laporta got injured last week. He just started practicing again today, so he's still questionable for the game. Like if without Sam Laporta, they could be in a lot of trouble. So that also is a big factor with this. But yeah, I see a Ravens Niners Super Bowl. You see a Ravens Niners Super Bowl. Ravens Niners Super Bowl. Um, it would be nice if we saw Lions Ravens Super Bowl, and it would
Mm-hmm.
be horrible for America if we saw a Chiefs Niners Super Bowl. But I mean, no
Again.
matter what happens, it's gonna be an entertaining ride to the finish. 3 more games left in the NFL season, guys. It goes by way too fast, man. I still remember it like yesterday when we
Wait.
got
There's
walloped
one
by
extra
Puka
game.
Nakua. Oh well, okay.
There's one extra game.
Does the
The
Pro Bowl
Pro Bowl.
okay? It's not really like a real game anymore. It's like a flag football game now.
Yes, it is.
When it was the full pads game, yes, you would count that. It's more like half a game now. You can see like 3.5 games left.
No. This is gonna be one of the most important Pro Bowls yet. This and next year. This is gonna decide the roster for the Olympics in 2026. When we have flag football. This is,
Oh yeah.
I mean, not officially. This is basically showing America and the NFL who is going to who's good at flag football and who's gonna play at the Olympics, because
That's
that's
fair.
gonna be
That's fair.
awesome. This is a warm up.
This is I mean, interesting theory there, Josh.
Are used to it now.
Yeah,
Played it last year. Used
it
to it.
could work. It could work. Um, for some reason, I thought you were gonna say the race bowl, but we'll, we'll
What?
save that. We'll save that for another time with Jacob. When Jacob
What?
is back, we will make a race bowl team.
What?
Um, we could have like one of us does black, one of us
I'm
does
not getting
white,
canceled here.
and one of us does Asian and Pacific Islander. That would be quite funny.
Canceled.
I'm not gonna lie.
Um,
We should have done that
views
like a couple
expressed
weeks ago.
views expressed on this podcast do not accurately reflect the views
Yeah.
of the
It would be quite
the
fun.
owners
But
themselves.
yeah, we'll save that for another time. Yeah.
But-
It is gonna be an interesting final 4 games for this final. I mean, for the end of this NFL season. But man, it flies by way too fast. Like it feels like yesterday that we got absolutely cooked by Puka Nakua in week 1. Good times, good times. Oh, and I mean, if the Lions do win the Super Bowl, we could say that we beat the Super Bowl champions. So that'd be kind of cool. And if the Lions do make it to the Super Bowl and win, they gotta put us and the Lions week. I think we're playing the Lions next year, right? We should be.
Yeah.
We
Wait.
always play them for some reason now. They're like the new Vikings.
Put them next.
Depends though. If we play in
We are
Detroit,
playing the Lions at Detroit.
that has to be week 1. If the Lions win the Super Bowl, that has to be week 1 because Seahawks versus Lions always delivers. We saw it these
Good
last
point.
2 years. They have delivered amazing games, high scoring games, games that everybody wants to watch. And you put that on national television.
Let's make
ratings galore.
Let's start with the Lions winning the Super Bowl first.
Yeah. Well, they got to win the
but then
NFC
we can see
Championship
that-
first.
Yeah, and then win the Super Bowl first. But like, guess their other home opponents. Obviously Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, but they never do a divisional game to start the season. Jacksonville, no.
That feels
Rams.
so wrong. Jacksonville versus Detroit
Rams.
and Detroit just does not sound right.
Yeah. Tennessee, no. Buffalo, maybe. And Tampa Bay. I think we have a shot.
Well, our opponents away are Bears, so that's gonna be an interesting game at Soldier Field. Lions, of course. Patriots. I want to see us in Gillette Stadium again. Jets.
Ooh.
Hopefully, no one tears their Achilles.
Gillette Stadium
Um,
again? Are you kidding me?
I love Gillette Stadium, low key. Like the stadium is nice. The stadium is nice. You got to admit. Jets. Hopefully, no one tears their Achilles there, and then Falcons, which is a nice stadium. We'll talk more about the opponents later on, but let's wait until the season ends first. That is the end of our episode. Thank you for listening to episode 62 of Emerald City Sports, the podcast, guys. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We will be on there. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the comment. I messed that up, didn't I? Like, subscribe.
Yeah, you did.
Hit the notification bell and comment. Leave a
Yep.
comment below.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why I never say those things. But we will see you guys next time. Maybe Jacob will be back. We'll see.
It'll
Well,
show us.
it'll be
Oh, yeah. Will he
next-
announce his transfer request during
Yes.
during the episode?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yes. When Jacob comes back, man. Return of Jacob 2.0. And he might announce his request. I mean, transfer. He has entered the high school transfer portal, by the way, guys. So
I didn't know that existed.
zero star QB wide receiver Jacob Navale. We'll see where he goes, and you only hear it on Emerald City Sports, the podcast. Only here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, Jacob comes back next time too. Make sure to stay tuned to Seattle Sports.
We'll
and
try not to get
see
canceled.
if we don't get bored in the next coming weeks. See you guys later.
I won't be. See ya.